If you're watching this video, you probably want to get out of debt. You're not alone. The vast majority of Americans are drowning in debt, and yet they don't do anything about it because they don't know where to start. But you're doing something about it, so congratulations. It's obvious that debt is big business, and the less we know about how to manage debt, the more profits the big institutions make off of us. Although debt helps us buy things we want when we don't have the money to pay for them, it costs us our future if we don't understand the difference between good debt and bad debt. So if it seems like no matter what you do, you can't seem to make any real progress on your debt, well, it's because it's set up that way on purpose. Creditors have even changed the language they use when we buy things. No longer is it a matter of how much something costs, but what's the monthly minimum payment. By just paying the minimum payment for that car that had a sticker price of $30,000, it will cost you many thousands of dollars more when you finally pay it off. That $200,000 home can cost you over $400,000 when you finally make your last mortgage payment. Now, I used to be just like you. I had a mortgage of about $350,000 that I had refinanced twice to pay off other debts. I had about $40,000 in credit card debt and about $80,000 in student loans. I felt like I was hardly making any progress each month. The stress of this debt was literally killing me. Well, that all changed for me when I was introduced to the debt-to-wealth system that is helping me eliminate all my debt in a fraction of the time, as a matter of fact in 8 short years, without having to refinance my home or change my lifestyle one penny. I'm well on my way to living a debt-free life, and I'll show you how I'm doing it. First of all, have you noticed that banks are really good at making money? Literally, they almost print it. If you go to any major city, you'll see that typically the largest buildings have a bank's name on them. Banks build financial empires. Well, what if you could run your personal finances similar to how banks handle your money? Well, that's where our system comes in. We'll help you do just that. Let's start with a few banking principles, and then I'll show you how to apply these principles to eliminate your debt and begin building wealth for life. The first principle is called interest cancellation. To begin with, let's look at a home mortgage amortization schedule. This is one of the most egregious ways banks can earn money on us. Not only are we paying lots of interest on our mortgage, but it's weighted so that we pay most of the interest in the early years and don't make any real progress until the end. It's almost as if they know we won't be in our home for the full 30 years to ever get it paid off. Here we have a $200,000 30-year loan at 6%. The monthly principal and interest portion of the payment would be $1,199.10. In month 1, only $199.10 of the payment goes to pay off principal, and the other $1,000 is paid to the bank as profit, which they call interest. That's an 83% profit. In month 2, our principal portion goes up a whopping $1, and the bank makes an additional $999 profit off of us. After 1 year of payments, the bank has made nearly $12,000 in profit, and we've only gained $2,456 of equity. After 5 years of payments, the bank profits over $58,000 in interest, with only about $14,000 going toward equity. Roughly 80% of all the money we have paid has gone to interest. But let's stop here for a minute. That just doesn't feel right. I thought it was a 6% loan, but after 5 years, 80% of the payments have gone toward nothing but interest? No wonder we rarely ever get our homes paid off. So here's year 10. Almost $144,000 in total payments, but only $32,000 has gone toward equity. The difference is the bank's profits. It takes 20 years to get to the halfway point. We've given the bank nearly $288,000 of our hard-earned money, and they get to keep nearly $196,000 of it for their profit, leaving us the other $92,000 as equity. The fact is, most people never even get to the 20th year. They either move or refinance after 7 years and start the debt clock all over again, making the banks even more money. Here is how interest cancellation works to rapidly pay off an amortization schedule. If instead of just making the scheduled payment of $1,199, we add to the payment an additional $1,010 in our first month. That amount represents the principal amount that would have been applied to the loan over the next 5 months. By doing so, it cancels the scheduled interest payments for those 5 months, canceling nearly $5,000 of future interest and 5 future payments. If $5,000 is added to the original $1,199 payment, over $23,000 of interest is canceled, as well as 23 future payments at the end of the loan, which will never have to be paid. The debt-to-wealth system uses this principle of interest cancellation to completely eliminate house payments, lots of them. In many cases, your mortgage can be completely paid off in as little as a half or even a third of the time. So where do we get the extra $5,000 to cancel all that interest? I'll show you that in a minute. The next principle is float and leverage. In order to fully understand this principle, we need to go over two different types of loans and how they function. The first type is called a closed-end loan. It is driven by an amortization schedule like we saw in the previous example. A minimum payment must always be paid even if you pay extra the month before. It only allows payments to go in, no withdrawals can come out. Interest is calculated on a month-end basis, allowing the bank to earn interest on our money all month long. And mortgages are a closed-end loan. The other type of loan is an open-end loan. They function a little differently. They have flexible payments. Payments can go in and withdrawals come out. Interest is calculated on a daily basis, not on a monthly basis. It's not tied to an amortization schedule. Credit cards, HELOCs, personal lines of credit, even some life insurance policies all function as open-end loans. So let me ask you a question. Does it ever make sense to use a 10% loan to pay off a 6% loan? You might be surprised to find out the answer is yes if you borrow the money from an open-end loan to pay down a closed-end loan. Our system takes full advantage of these differences to make your money work harder. Most open-end loans also have an additional benefit. They give you a grace period. Think about it. If you have a credit card and you decide to make a $500 purchase, if you pay your Visa bill in full at the end of the month, what happens? No interest is charged, right? We were able to float the interest, and we were able to leverage their money for 25 or 30 days or so with no charge. Think about that. We are able to use OPM, that's other people's money, for up to 30 days. This interest grace period is another tool our system uses to help you think like a bank. Banks know the concept of no stagnant money. You see, banks move money around from one account to another all the time. Our system does the same. It tells you to move just the right amount of money at the right time from one account to another, and let it sit for the right length of time to maximize interest and make it work for you. Banks make sure their money is working for them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and now you can too. The third principle is called an offset account. An offset account can be one of two things: a combination of checking and savings accounts working in tandem, or it can be an open-end line of credit, as mentioned previously. Our system uses either of these offset accounts to advise you how and when to move money around. Think of it as a temporary holding tank for your money. We use it to take advantage of float and leverage to cancel large amounts of interest. In essence, this account is what we use to pay off bad debt with good debt, which can erase years of interest payments. Getting back to our example of that extra $5,000 mortgage payment, most people use the savings and checking account method as their offset account. However, in this example, we're going to use the line of credit method and even pay an interest rate of 10% to borrow the bank's money and send it to the 6% mortgage as a principal-only payment. That $5,000 cancels over $23,000 of interest, and remember, 23 future payments that are taken off the back end of the loan. And it costs us less than $50 of interest that month to do so. Using an offset account is powerful, and in a minute I'll show you an example of how this works to move money around, emptying the account and filling it back up again to save you tons of money and interest using a real-life scenario. Before I show you how it all works together on one platform to eliminate your debt, I want to share with you the fourth principle called strategic payoff. The vast majority of Americans carry multiple types of debt, from credit cards, student loans, furniture, cars, recreational toys, and homes, all of which have different interest rates, payment structures, lengths of time, interest crediting schedules, and a host of other factors. How does a person decide which debt to pay off first? How much money should be allocated toward that payoff, and exactly when the money should be paid? There are mathematical equations, calculations, and algorithms that will determine the precise time, sequence, amounts, and specific debt to target. However, the average person simply doesn't have the systems and methodologies in place to do these complex calculations, nor the time, so we simply make a guess and hope it's right. But is this what the banks do? Of course not. Now I'm going to show you how it all works together to eliminate your debt in 1/3 to half the time. The debt-to-wealth system analyzes your accounts, tells you exactly how much money to move at exactly the right time to maximize the amount of interest you earn, as well as how much to pay. It uses the principles of float and leverage applied to your mortgage and other accounts to cancel interest. Our system teaches you how to make every dollar you earn work for you instead of the bank, by showing you how to make it either earn interest or cancel out interest payments using strategic payoff principles. This technology puts all these strategies at your fingertips and will transform how you bank forever. Let's take a look now at a real-life scenario and exactly how our system eliminates enormous amounts of interest. Here we have a $200,000 mortgage and an offset account line of credit. Maybe it's a home equity line of credit or even a credit card. The offset account has an interest rate of 10% with a $15,000 limit, while the mortgage has an interest rate of 6%. The system tells us to transfer $6,387.93 from our offset account line of credit to pay down the mortgage. Why that amount? I don't know. I don't have to know. It's calculating everything for me. We just canceled roughly $29,000 of interest and eliminated 29 house payments. Remember that concept of interest cancellation? Well, here it is. Think about that for a second. 29 house payments. And because we apply the float and leverage principle, we don't have to make an interest payment on that loan for 25 or 30 days. The system thinks like a bank on your behalf, using every single day to maximize your money. Next, let's put in our budget. $5,000 a month from after-tax earnings and total living expenses of $4,000, leaving $1,000 of discretionary income. The system can work without any discretionary income. This is just an example. Here's another powerful strategy the system employs, earning profits from our expenses. The system directs us to use our credit cards the right way by paying our bills with the card, creating float and leverage, as well as earning rewards like travel miles and cash back when we pay our bills. We use our income to pay down the offset account, allowing us to make strategic transfers at the right time to cancel interest, as well as to pay back the credit cards after we have earned the rewards. See how strategically moving money around at the right time can be to your advantage? Because of all the complex mathematical algorithms the system uses, it tells us exactly what bills to pay, when, and exactly how much to pay. We use the offset account to pay those bills, using $10,387.93 of the bank's money. So now our paycheck comes in. Where does it go? Do we pay the minimum on the offset account? Nope. We drop our whole paycheck in there, all $5,000 of it. So now we pay zero interest on $5,000 that was on our line of credit. Remember the float and leverage concept? We have 25 or 30 days to float that interest. Again, the system keeps track of exactly when to move the money. The balance in the offset account is now down to $5,387.93, plus we need to add the monthly interest charge of $44.90 for the use of that money, increasing the balance to $5,432.83. So by using the bank's money and paying less than $50 of interest, we canceled roughly $29,000 of mortgage interest and eliminated 29 house payments, shortening our payments from $360 to $330 in 1 month with a single $6,387.93 strategic transfer. In months 2 and 3, nothing really changes. The system has us pay our expenses using credit cards and floats that interest as much as possible using the offset account. We add this month's $4,000 in expenses to our offset account balance of $5,432.83, which brings it to $9,432.83. Once again, we drop our entire paycheck into the offset account, which leaves us a balance of $4,432.83. We are charged $36.94 in interest. In month 3, using the same strategy of paying our bills with the credit card, paying those off with the offset account, and dropping the entire $5,000 paycheck in there, we have a balance of $3,498.68 after we are charged the next month's interest of $28.91. In month number 4, after implementing the same strategy, our offset account balance is now $2,498.68, and something happens. The system triggers another funds transfer. So it tells us to transfer $4,231.62 to the mortgage. That leaves us with a balance on the offset account of $6,736.89. Now let's take an inventory. Over the past 3 months, we've spent $129.90 in interest on our offset account, but we've just canceled $45,666.31 of interest on the mortgage and eliminated 46 house payments. Think about that for a second. We eliminated 46 payments and it cost us $130 in interest. I don't know about you, but I'll make that trade all day long. Let's skip months 5 and 6 because those are just like months 2 and 3, using the same strategy. But on month 7, after dropping our paycheck into the offset account, We have a balance of $3,874.90, and another funds transfer is triggered. This time it's $3,911.04, which now brings our offset account balance to $7,850.82 after interest is added. Here we go again. Let's take a look now. Our total interest paid over the 7-month period in the offset account is $320.23, and we've canceled a whopping total of $59,153.19 in scheduled interest and eliminated 61 house payments. That's 5 years of canceled house payments for $320 in interest on the line of credit. Now can you see the power of this system? By continuing with the strategic action plan that the system creates in real time, we will have our 30-year mortgage paid off in only 9.3 years, totally debt-free, including your mortgage, in less than 10 years. I'll wait a few seconds for you to pick your jaw up off the floor. Sometimes life happens and we might not be able to follow the action plan completely. Let's say we have to take on more debt because of a life event. The system always calculates our quickest path to zero debt. We enter that new debt into the system and it analyzes how it fits into our overall debt picture and recalculates our new strategy. It's always charting the fastest route to zero. Isn't that amazing? But remember, it's not magic, it's just math. And because of the advancements in technology, you now have an opportunity to convert your debt into wealth. I'm sure you're more than just a little interested at this point to see just how this amazing platform could benefit you. So what's the next step? On this page is a schedule. Just pick out an available time slot that is convenient for you, and one of our Debt to Wealth specialists will meet with you on a video conference and provide a no-cost consultation. Here's what you can expect from this consultation. We will provide you with an exact date when you will be debt-free. We will provide you with an analysis that will show you how much you'll save in interest payments by following this system. And we will go step by step and explain how everything works and answer any questions you might have. Fair enough, right? Well, in order to provide these things, we will need a few things from you. You'll need to be in front of a computer. We'll be sharing our screen using a webinar-style setting. We need you to get your debt information together. We will tell you everything you need, but we need you to do a little homework and have that information ready. So go ahead and make an appointment now to get started. With this incredible Debt to Wealth system by your side, you can not only eliminate your debt at record pace, but you can get on with building wealth and creating a financial legacy for you and your loved ones. You can experience the freedom and peace associated with being debt-free and on your way to building that legacy. Or you can continue on the path you're currently on and potentially be making debt payments the rest of your life. If you want a different outcome, you must have the courage to do something different. Make the appointment now and begin building wealth for life.